This Friday, November 11th, the final 8th installment of the epic Harry Potter franchise is finally coming out on DVD and Blu-ray. The only place to rent this movie in the town of Gainesville is going to be Go Video. To get directions to Go Video, check us out at govideogainesville.com. So this brings up the question. This is the end of the biggest franchise of our generation, without question. Is it the biggest franchise ever? Has it eclipsed Star Wars? Has it eclipsed Lord of the Rings?
I will say that if I appreciate anything about the Harry Potter series, it is that they started knowing that they had to finish it. What was it? 1999, 2000 was the first movie that came out. They knew that they were going to have to do all 7 movies. That kind of a commitment, I think, from a studio, I respect that completely. A fact that this franchise took over 10 years to finish. That commitment from the crew, from all the different directors that came on. A couple of them did a couple movies. And from the screenwriters. It was 1 or 2 screenwriters for the whole thing, I believe. That it was absolutely astounding, I thought. All these actors, they grew up together. They're now going to be friends for life. I thought that aspect of it was really, really cool, that it took 10 years to make this franchise happen. I'm not a fan of the actual movies themselves, though.
The main question is this our generation's Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna say no. I think one of the big problems that I had with it, and this is coming from somebody who has read all 7 books. I was a big fan. I was 13 when I first read the Prisoner of Azkaban, where he was 13. I felt like I bonded with this kid. I grew up with him, with the books. The problem was that how they made it into something that was related to pop culture. Something that Star Wars or Lord of the Rings never did.
It's become a pop culture touchstone. You have to know about it. It's permeated our culture, which is why I say that it's not just our generation's biggest franchise. It's the biggest franchise in the history of movies, period. Because now that the movies are over, Harry Potter is still just as big as ever. There is a Harry Potter theme park. So the next question is, will Harry Potter maintain in the way that Star Wars, which previously would be unassailably the biggest franchise ever, it's cheapened itself. It's driven away a lot of its fan base by going back to the well too many times. Is Harry Potter going to leave well enough alone, or are they going to try to make more movies?
I would hope that in the generations to come, Harry Potter gets remembered as a really, really amazing book franchise. But as a film, it just feels more like they're making toys for the books. It's not real. The 2 big faults that I thought were in the 6th film, which was, in my opinion, the best movie. It was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It seemed like that was right after Twilight became popular. They focused so much on the things in the book that were not important, like the teen romances. I love the books because they're really, really well written as a mystery novel. They focus too much on the teen romance in the 6th film. I thought that was one of the worst in the whole franchise, just because it seemed like they were trying to compete with Twilight.
Right.
Okay, so 2 disagrees.
Yeah.
All right, but you're just speaking creatively. Financially, as far as the importance of the franchise, I don't think any other movie series could come close. Possibly, with Lord of the Rings coming back with 2 more movies, maybe they could make a dent in it.
Well, when you take Lord of the Rings, they made the movies even after the writer was dead. It was very long after J.R.R. Tolkien wrote the books. So they just took this timeless story and made it into such a legendary film franchise. It did very well at the box office, but it did incredibly well critically. Every single installment was nominated for Best Picture. The last one won Best Picture. This was a great story that was done. Harry Potter, and it did the books justice. I thought the Lord of the Rings films did. The Harry Potter movies did not do so. I don't think they're going to be remembered the same way.
Part of the reason why I think Lord of the Rings was so amazing, critically acclaimed, Universal, the whole series, all that is because I think Peter Jackson directed the whole thing, and he didn't go from it from a pop culture point of view. He went from it as, this is J.R.R. Tolkien's vision. I'm going to make it mine, and I'm going to make it wonderful for the fans, And he went from that point of view as to where the studios that did Harry Potter, they wanted to, what's the word? They wanted to make money. I feel like, and I feel like Lord of the Rings was more of a creative exploration for Peter Jackson than Harry Potter was.
I am just not nearly the Lord of the Rings fan that you two are. I may like Harry Potter a little bit more than you guys, but
Patrick's
like Lord of the Rings a lot more
Patrick's
than me.
apartment is called the Shire. We call it the Shire because
right.
we're such big Lord of the Rings fans. I just think it's an incredible series. If you've read the books, then the movies captured them beautifully, I believe.
I think it's one of the few movies that I've seen where I thought, wow, I actually liked the movies more than the books. Now, that's blasphemy to some people who have read the books, but I feel like they really trimmed the fat, and whoever did the adapted screenplays for the Lord of the Rings films did such an amazing job of capturing what was important, what was the best parts of the book series that was not done in the Harry Potter franchise, unfortunately. But, as we've seen in so much today with reboots, like how they're redoing the Spider-Man movies almost immediately after the third one ended. They're planning on rebooting the Batman franchise after that ended. They may even reboot Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, but Harry Potter, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that far along before they're just going to start over again and try to get the movies as good as the books were. And I would like to see that happen as long as they go about it the right way.
Which is what Peter Jackson did as opposed to the studio, which I think the studio handled the Harry Potter franchise a lot more than they did the Lord of the Rings franchise. Peter Jackson was, on top of his vision for Lord of the Rings as opposed to the studio, which took control of Harry Potter.
I think the only thing for people to do is to come to Go Video, rent the entire Lord of the Rings series, rent the entire Harry Potter series.
And make their own minds up about it, yeah.
Exactly.
I would like to add that each one of those DVDs, for the most part, is going to be somewhere between $1 a day or $1.50 a day. You can't beat those prices.
You could also buy, it was $30 for the whole DVD set, extended.
That's right. DVD. We do have a few of the Lord of the Rings extended copies on DVD. It's $29.99 for the whole series.
Hi, my name is Rusty Cage, though I'm sometimes known as Ben Steele, Steve Buscemi, Philip Traum, or Edward. Over the past few months, I have been writing and recording a series of original songs, and today, I make these songs available to you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present my first musical installment, Rusty Cage Volume 1, Blues, Gospels, and What Have Yous. This 7-track EP includes songs that explore themes such as social interactions, contemplations of science and religion, lost loves and sorrow, and with just a few clicks, you could have your own copy. Using the help of Bandcamp and iTunes, physical and digital copies of this EP can now be purchased over the interweb. You can order a $5 digital copy of Rusty Cage Volume 1, or for an additional $1, you can get the actual physical copy delivered to your door. That's right, for the price of a 6-pack of piss beer or a box of smokes, you could have your very own copy of Blues, Gospels, and What Have Yous. But I must warn you, these songs do contain foul language, adult content, and sacrilegious lyrics that are not intended for children or the easily offended. All in all, I hope you'll grab a copy of my EP, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
So I can die.